Black and White Network fans, we are back with another video, and we're going to be talking about the war in Ukraine because there's a different angle to this whole war going on right now, and it's turned into a quote unquote race issue in Ukraine. Now, guys, there are students from Africa in Ukraine studying whatever they're studying, okay? And Ukrainians are actually moving out of the country to safety. But however, there's allegations that African students are not being allowed to actually board buses and get out of the country. Now, there's a little bit more to this than what the mainstream media is going to tell you. So let's go ahead and dive into this video, guys. Here we go. You see here on people.com, African students fleeing Ukraine claim discrimination at Poland border. We're not getting any help. They're prioritizing Ukrainians. Keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. It says here, thousands of people in Ukraine flee the country following Russia's invasion. African students are reportedly speaking out that they face discrimination at the border of Poland while attempting to escape to safety. Black people say they had issues using public transportation to get to the borders, while others say they have not been permitted to cross into other countries, according to Insider. Corinne Sky, a 26-year-old medical student living in Ukraine, told Insider that African students were told of an alleged Ukrainians first policy when they struggled to move out of the country. Quote, some people have gone to get buses, but they're not allowing black people basically on the buses, she said. They're prioritizing Ukrainians. That's what they say. So keep that in mind, folks. Keep that in mind here, okay? And it's very unfortunate what's going on over there in Ukraine. But the Ukrainian government, guess what? They're supposed to look out for the best interests of Ukrainians. Just like if this was going on in the United States, Americans would actually come first. But probably under this government here, we'll probably be last. But I digress. The thing is that these students are not Ukrainian citizens. You know who is supposed to be responsible for getting these students out of the country? Their own governments. Okay. Now, there's been reports of Nigeria complaining, but Nigeria should have got their people out of the country. It's not the responsibility of Ukraine. Ukraine is supposed to worry about their own citizens. And this is just the way things work, folks. It does. Because think of this, man. Let's say that the U.S. was invaded, okay? And there were buses coming to get U.S. citizens out of the country. If the government told me, no, you must go to the back of the line, we're going to allow these non-citizens to get on the buses first. I'm like, what? Wait a minute, man. This is my country. I pay my taxes, and you telling me I need to get to the back of the line? See, that doesn't make any sense. But the narrative is that it's racism. No, they're not Ukrainians, and Ukraine is taking care of their people, just like these students' countries should actually be taking care of them. Now, I don't know how widespread this is, and I get that these people need help too. I'm pretty sure it's pretty chaotic. I don't know all the ins and outs of everything. But guess what, guys? People have actually known about the invasion now for what? Several weeks. It's not a surprise that Ukraine got invaded by Russia. These students, what did their countries do in the weeks leading up to the invasion? They should have told their students to get out of the country. They should have actually coordinated with the Ukrainian government to get them out. But did they do that? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, depending on the country, over there in Africa. But I know in the United States, they were telling U.S. citizens to get out of the country. I suggest these students, contact the embassy, whatever embassy they have over there in Ukraine. This is a failure on their country. Not necessarily a failure on Ukraine, because The student's country of origin, where they're from, their country should have protected them and did what was best in the best interest of them. But it doesn't look like, some of these countries have done a very good job of coordinating to get their citizens out of Ukraine. It says here, these accounts of discrimination are based on anecdotes from these people trying to leave, and it remains unclear which government authority may be responsible, if any. Additional details were not available. So there's still a lot of question marks here. Due to the situation, Scott says she has been helping coordinate escape routes for hundreds of African students trapped in Ukraine. Quote, "I'm very, very afraid," she told Insider. "We're not getting any help from any of the embassies. They have pretty much just said, save yourselves." That is a failure then on your country. And I believe that your country needs to be held accountable for this because their embassies obviously have failed them. Okay, I don't know which countries it is, to tell you the truth. Thousands of African students travel to Ukraine to study because it's affordable education in medicine, engineering, and other technical related fields. Percy Ohin Yabo, I'm probably mispronouncing the name, an engineering major from Ghana, told Reuters that he is currently stuck in the country with nowhere to go. As Russia's attacks continue, he has settled in the basement of a church where he spoke to the outlet via phone. This is really sad. Quote, "In this situation like this, you're on your own. You got to find the best way to find refuge for yourself," he said, adding that he has received no help from his government at home. "It's now that the reality is hitting me. I think for me, it's a bit too late for evacuation and all those things." So he just said it right there, man. His own country is not helping him. This is not a race thing. This is the failure of his country. Now, it said, yeah, he's from Ghana. The Ghanaian government has failed him. They don't want to help him. He said it right there. This has nothing to do with race whatsoever. Almost nothing. Could there be pockets of racism? Maybe so. But you just saw it right there. His own government doesn't want to help him. So how can you expect Ukraine to let all these people, coordinate with them to get them out when they have to get their own citizens out of the way first? See, this is not a race issue, folks. This is a failure of governments outside of Ukraine. Some of these governments may be corrupt, man. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, man. And you knew that the media was going to run with the racism angle, man, because they love this stuff. But it's clearly, this is a failure of governments and not race. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.